Melbourne leads by 23 points, 8-11-59 to 5-6-36 before a huge crowd. O'Dwyer and Fellows do battle. Healy for Melbourne. Hooks it towards right half forward Saunders. Tried to drag it in one-handed. Nearly succeeded. It's a race. Wilson puts the head down, as is his norm. Healy tries to flip it out. Not successful. It'll be a bounce outside the 50-metre mark.
Well, Collingwood made a change. They got Manson at centre half forward. Christian's gone into the back pocket. And Healy doesn't look too good.
He's looking a little hurt. I've got a kick in the hand in that skirmish. Let's hope he's okay. Stynes beats Fellows. Saunders had the run of it. Seemed to lose it. Now it comes to Banks. Plenty of room for him at midfield. In pursuit is Yates. Banks long, straight down the corridor. 2-on-1 in favour of Melbourne. At the back is Johnson. Kicked it into O'Dwyer, I think it was. Collingwood fans looking for in the back. No, says the umpire. Starcevic, I don't think so. Umpire in good position to see that. No addition to the score. O'Dwyer and Manson. Grinter had it and then lost it. Likewise Hughes. Chance for Collingwood. Taylor, his second. Just what they needed to start the third quarter.
Taylor might have been the fellow that kicked the ball, but what great play. I think it was by Tony Shaw. If we watch this, Tony Shaw just paddle the ball along with his feet as it came to ground. Now here's Tony Shaw, number 22. Hughes misses it there. Shaw sets up the opportunity. A snap by Taylor. Well done, Tony Shaw. And also Brian Taylor. A great snap.
Spirits are rising. That's the start Collingwood needed. Back in the centre, run down by O'Dwyer. Generally, Melbourne have got the quick reply. Will it happen again? No. Saunders. Timely mark at centre half back, and now 50 metres. Melbourne player running across the mark there. So Saunders comes up through the centre.
Interesting rule that, Dennis. Your teammates are allowed to cross the mark, but the opposition are not.
Saunders goes looking for Taylor, outnumbered 3-1. That makes it pretty tough. It falls to Johnson, claimed by Ryan. Well played, Ryan, and he gets a goal.
Play of the day.
Matthew Ryan making something out of nothing. Laid the tackle, then got the loose ball.
That was fantastic stuff, Don, wasn't it?
It was magnificent stuff. Alan Johnson has made two bad mistakes. Earlier he ducked his head when the ball was on the ground, really didn't look at it. And this time he's gone the opposite way. He's tackled a magnificent tackle by Ryan. Not noted for his kicking, Matthew Ryan has come off interchange bench, and you can see a very jubilant player.
Ryan and Johnson. Meantime, back in the middle, Collingwood. Two quick goals to start the second half. This is Wilson. A little indecisive. Kept his cool. Gets it to Healy, who seems to be okay. Scrambles a kick towards the outer side half-back flank. McGuan and Lovett. Lovett first to arrive, keeps it in, and McGuan content to get it out of bounds. It will be thrown in.
Graham Wright must be off the ground, Dennis, because McGuan is down in his position on the forward line.
It was the Melbourne bench. O'Dwyer and Fellows. Fellows in front, his 100th game today. O'Dwyer over the top, slaps it wide. Dacos, not much space, but he's brilliant. Peter Dacos, inspirational, pumps it back towards half forward. Clears all and sundry down there. Ryan again waiting behind. No one went to the ball carrier. Lobs it over the top. McGuan surrounded by demons. Johnson fisting away. Grinter was held without it. Healy, sweeping hand pass. Intercepted by McEwen from 40 metres out. It's another one. No, it's a behind. McEwen is running back to the centre. He can't believe it. It may have grazed the post.
It would have been their third, Dennis, in 4 minutes. So the Magpies, even though they didn't kick it, playing much better so far. O'Dwyer, great mark. And the tempo lifts. The first semi moves into a different gear. It's gone for the hand pole, the pass to Lovell. It's got to come back, has it? No. And Lovell plays on. Williams, well, missed one. Should have taken it off the ground. Healy, that was well done. Newport. Healy again. Williams. Chance for Morwood. Good shepherding by Krasiska. Dacos again. Dacos giving himself plenty of time and room. Third possession this term. Knock on was by Manson. Grinter spread eagles the pack. Plenty of room for him at centre wing. And Grinter goes long. Morwood in front. Fine mark in front of Spalding. Back to Dacos again. Same spot. Better result for Collingwood. Ryan, though the fumble may prove costly, he'll get around Lyon, but only just. Out to McGuan. Saunders. Back to McGuan. He'll have to kick it. Long to half forward. Manson has the height. Collingwood player down. Taylor, free kick.
Against Hughes.
But the first mistake Danny Hughes has made. A very solid contributor, Danny Hughes, this afternoon. Let's take a look, see what happened out the corner.
Yeah, Hughes tripped there and just brought Taylor to ground as he came to ground himself.
So Brian Taylor, 2 goals, a chance to make it 3 for Collingwood and 3 this quarter. .45 out. Sprayed it. Behind if it's lucky. It's not. It's out of bounds on the full.
That breeze is diabolical, isn't it, for all goal umpires, commentators, and more particularly the players. John Northey showing some tension there as Dersma clears it towards the outer side. Healy got his hand to it, couldn't hang on. And Fellows gets a boot on the ball and runs it across the boundary line unintentionally. Right, as Don pointed out, on the left there.
Hawk. Right.
Right on the left. I was confused enough with that. There's the boundary throw in. Dwyer's in front. Fellows. They battle. Well played by O'Dwyer. Scrambles a kick forward around the outer side wing. Kerrison close to the boundary line. Keeps it in, or does he? No, he doesn't. Was he held without it? No, he wasn't. And it will be thrown in. Vast crowd. Close game now. Back to 10 points. Fellows and Spalding. Healy. Long hand pass. Jackson couldn't control it. Morwood with poise. Hugs the boundary with the kick. O'Dwyer. It's out of bounds once more.
Centre wing. We'll see the throw in. Under 19 minutes remaining in the third term. O'Dwyer with Fellows. Nada's had a really great influence on the game so far today. I don't think the ruck battles here have reached the height we saw yesterday at VFL Park. Madden and Deer had a good go. Same 2 again. Fellows got that one down. Dacos took it off the top of the pack. Ryan was there. Yates grabbed when not in possession. Will take a free kick.
Very lucky because Collingwood are away. And the
Great.
Melbourne defence in tatters at the moment.
Yes, this might give them a chance to regroup. You can see that streamer out there, or a piece of toilet paper or whatever, behind Yates, blowing towards that pocket. There it is. The height of Fellows got him that mark. Hasn't taken too many today. Now he's picked out Barwick. He'll just get there in front of Lovell. Barwick on right centre wing, decides to play on. Now that is a long kick. Manson at the back, completely misjudged it. To Grinter. Shaw. It's a race. Johnson gets the front position, looks for the free. Well played, Alan Johnson. Onto Danny Hughes, who hooks it up towards the centre wing position. Knocked away by Saunders. Lyon kicks it pretty quickly down to Spalding at right half forward. The bounce beats him, and it'll be a throw in about 55 out. Lee Matthews will be pleased with the side's effort so far in this term. Fellows looking for front position. Ball beats all the ruckmen. Nobody can get it out, and so the umpire wisely will bounce it right on the 50-metre line.
Melbourne lead by 10 points. A new sort of pressure for Lee Matthews. A bit after today, it relishes playing days. Stynes after the hand pass from Lovell into attack, fisted away by the defence though, wide. Great fisting there by those players.
That was excellent defensive play.
Intent on getting some angle. Krasiska, and I think it was Banks who were up. Here's the boundary throw in. Stynes wins it forward. Pretty congested at the base of that pack. And the ball up. Bright sunny conditions at the MCG. In excess of 80,000. Loser is out of the finals race. There's the time remaining in the third quarter. Stynes. Opportunity for Ryan. He's been lively so far in this quarter. Brown's hand pass, not a particularly good one. Banks, Krasiska on the overlap from right half back. Awkward looking kick. It's a floater. In front McGuan. Back to Krasiska. This is Turner. He does well, does Jamie Turner. Gavin Brown on the outer side wing. Kicks towards centre half forward. Coming out is Hughes. Backed himself against the ball and could pay the price. McEwen scrambles a kick back towards full forward. Collingwood have got some numbers. Well played by Stretch. Over the top, this is Yates. Yates deep in his own defensive area. Members side. Great vision. Finds Lyon. Now he can run. Newport offers the lead. That's the direction the kick takes. Newport couldn't hang on. Wilson camped over the ball. Lays a great tackle from the ground. And Kerrison is penalised. Well, that's pretty tough because I'm sure Wilson got some ball.
Actually, I think it was against Kerrison earlier for pushing Wilson in the back.
Oh, if that's the case, that's okay.
Brian Wilson, who's kicked a couple of goals. One of those was from a free kick. One kick a goal from here. He's about 80 metres from goal. It's a good safe mark to Krasiska. To Dacos, who certainly lifted his play in this quarter. Has to go across goal. Now the target is Turner. Jackson's got speed behind him though, so he could be in trouble. The Shepherd was on. Holding the man. Maybe he's trifle lucky. Jamie Turner. Not a good kick. In fact, it was a shocker. Stynes is there to do the batting. Lovell grabbed on the arm. Williams, quick kick. Lyon again. Doesn't he cover some ground? Yates up in defence. Breaks clear. Wight doesn't miss those. Made to order. From him right on 50. Looked for Spalding and shoveled through. Don, would you say Wight had a legitimate shot at goal, or was that a pass?
No, he looked for Spalding then, and the pass was on, but I think Wight should have gone back and at least had a kick for goal. Melbourne making a change. Williams coming off, and Doug Coop coming on.
A change that John Northey has made at least on one other occasion today. And Dwyer in front. Lyon again. That wasn't the required distance to Healy, so he has a shot at goal himself. Just bounces on the line for one behind. 8-13 to 7-7. Still anybody's game. Kerrison will do the kicking in for Collingwood. Under 14 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Again to the outer side. This one on the breeze. Covers about 60 metres. Fisted back into attack by Melbourne. Lyon, who's been a star as he carried forward. That's the free kick.
What a great punch back by O'Dwyer too. That carried 40 metres.
Worth a kick.
We'll see here. Lyon going to ground as Saunders comes down over the top. We'll see from another angle.
That was an interesting one, wasn't it?
Lyon having his 16th kick. Just in from the boundary. Nudges at Goldwood. That's a great effort from there. It's a goal.
You can see by that kick why Garry Lyon is a class player. He's class. It's written all over him. He's very much team orientated. He's got courage. He is just about a complete footballer. We see here setting up. This was a big punch back by O'Dwyer. Then in front line, looking for the boundary line, but just being pushed in the back at the crucial time. But what a magnificent kick for goal, and a badly needed one.
67 plays 49. Lyon has 2 goals. Melbourne lead. Collingwood attack, and Lovett takes a great mark in defence. Grinter up towards right half back. Intended for Yates. He still may get it. He does after a battle between Manson and Dersma. So Yates breaks away. Well shepherded by Dersma. Drives it towards half forward. Lovell over the top of Turner. Well done by Shaw. It comes back to him. At close quarters to Morwood. He ferrets it out wide. This is Banks. Banks from half back. Kicks towards centre wing. Awkward bounce for the big fellow. Coming through. Yates does well to fist it away from Ryan. And will have a boundary throw in. Melbourne 9-13. Collingwood 7-7. Just under 12 and a half minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Well, it's been a good quarter by Collingwood, but Melbourne have answered the challenge. This is Ryan. He's really lifted them around the packs with his pace. Onto Barwick. Not Barwick, Starcevic. Starcevic at centre field. Up to half forward. McEwen the target and marks. Amid some attention from Danny Hughes, who was just a trifle late. McEwen glares at him.
They're horrible marks to be under.
Oof.
That one where McEwen, you know someone's coming, but you've just got to hold your ground.
So McEwen right on 50. Vital kick for Collingwood. That's close. It's a goal. Just got it in. And Ron McEwen brings up his second goal. 55 to 67, still 2 goals in it.
He is an indifferent kick, Ron McEwen. But he's got a lot of ability. We mentioned that earlier. See the Wight earlier in the first quarter, the way he set it up for Taylor. He's got a lot of ability. He hasn't played too many games this year, McEwen. But he's got a lot of courage. He's about 6'2" and a lot of ability. If he can get himself fit, he'll be a good player.
2 goals the difference. 12 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Dacos, a chance midfield, onto Kerrison, up from defence. He's gone for distance with the kick. Taylor on a lead and marks. Well, this will make it interesting if he can kick this one. If Taylor can goal, the difference will be 1 straight kick. Now, Brian Taylor has kicked 2 goals so far. And further to that, 2 goals, 2, and 1 out of bounds. So you'd have to suggest he's no certainty to kick it. He'll get the distance. He'll be in about a 45-degree angle. In fact, a bit more. Probably closer to 60. Taylor. It's a goal. 6 points the difference.
Well, that seems to be the scoring end. The punt road end, which Collingwood are kicking. But the important thing in football, if you can get it cleanly out of the centre, then go straight for goal. That's where you reap the benefit. You see here this long kick straight out of the centre. You catch the opposition backs out of position. The forwards have the advantage. But you've got to win the ball, as Collingwood did, out of the centre cleanly. Well done, Collingwood.
The first semi-final alive once again. A great fight back in this term by the Magpies. Brian Taylor's third goal has made the difference. Only 6 points. And getting out of the centre so vital. Neither side successful in that at this stage, and so we'll see another bounce. Jamie Turner gets himself up. Over the top was Dersma. The bounce favours Melbourne and Spalding. Healy out from left centre wing to half forward and O'Dwyer. Great mark right on the 50-metre line. Well, he hasn't done that much today, O'Dwyer, but that was a splendid effort. A contest between he and Fellows fairly even, as we saw in the stats at half-time. Wight swings around, can't goal. Here's another chance for Melbourne. Spalding makes time and makes the difference. 2 goals.
Well, isn't football a funny game? O'Dwyer wanted to come onto the ball at that stage, but Stynes said no, go back. O'Dwyer took the mark. Had he have not been there, obviously he wouldn't have taken the mark. Now watch a shocking kick. Wight tried to screw it. Now Spalding. The pack just opened up for him, and he's got such tremendous athletic ability, Spalding. He just doesn't push himself hard enough sometimes, but he's got tremendous athleticism.
So the margin back to 12 points. Seesaw, third term, this one at the MCG in the first semi-final. It's one down by Fellows, taken by Coop. He scrambles it towards half forward. The mark is taken by Spalding. He's found some form in the last month. A long, high kick down towards full forward. Stynes is down. They're almost held without it. Krasiska cleverly towards the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in about 35 metres around from that left-hand behind post. Melbourne's attacking in.
The umpire on the wrong side of that pack to pay that free kick to Stynes.
Christian and Stynes will do the ruck work here. That's tough for the defender. Stynes does what a defender would do and knocks it back towards the boundary line. We'll have another throw in. The margin was 23 points at half-time, so Collingwood have come storming back. The phone in use on the Melbourne bench. Kerrison, the small man, getting in front. Hurried kick. Lovett slips over and the ball spills out of bounds. He's a fine defender, Lovett. State selection this season. Fellows now will oppose Stynes. A real battle between these traditional rivals. Jackson, was he held without it? Not according to the umpire. Yes, he's paid the kick. the moment he was going to play advantage. There was none in it for Melbourne. It was socced forward. So Jackson has the ball midway between left centre wing and left half forward. He's been quiet again today. Kicks down towards the pocket. Not a particularly good kick. Morwood got a fingertip to it. Took a deflection. This is Christian deep in his own defensive area. Hooks it across his body. Shaw. What courage. What courage. What a great mark. The little man leading by example. Went back after that one and took the mark. A high kick through centre wing. Big pack into the air. That Shaw mark could lift Collingwood. Stretch comes away. A bit happening on the ground behind play. Meantime, Melbourne work it forward. Lovell, a short pass to Jackson. And he has this ball on the line of the square, the attacking side of centre. And behind play, those two got involved.
That was the aftermath of it. There was a couple of interesting ones thrown, I can assure you. Saunders. The Magpies clear. Perhaps momentarily only. Up to the centre wing position. Melbourne have the runners. Hand pass from Yates, not a good one. Stynes looks for Jackson. Tony Shaw knocks it on. Coote nearly had his head taken off, but he ducked his head. Courageous decision by the umpire not to play that perhaps right in front of the members. He did duck his head. Tony Shaw having a few words to the umpire. Maybe it was the other way. Fellows and Stynes. And a bounds. Right on 50.
Melbourne made another change. The speedster Ricky Jackson off, and the former South Australian Todd Viney back on for the first time.
No one making any headway, but that's in the back, according to the umpire. It'll be a free kick going Collingwood's way to be taken by Wes Fellows. He was the last to get up. He was the man with mud in his eye. Fellows left half-back flank. A strong mark taken by Brown, and away he goes, well shepherded by McGuan. Brown to centre half forward, looking for McEwen. Got a couple of hands to it, on the shoulder, says the umpire. Might be reversed, will it? McEwen. Oh, shocking kick. Well, it's a good pass, we'll put it down as Christian plucked it out. Taylor the target. Hughes got a hand to it. Melbourne in numbers. Johnson. No one coming at him. Transfers it to the member stand side. Yates and Wright. Yates again. Beautifully played to Lovell. Back to Grinter. Grinter at right half back. Plenty of space for him. To centre wing. Again, Melbourne has numbers. Fellows. Saunders. Close to out of bounds. I think on the full, yes, it will be a free kick to Melbourne at the right half-back flank to be taken by Grinter.
Game of centimetres at the moment. Not much in that kick. One sense is those sort of things could determine the outcome of this game. This is Lovell from the short pass. Sends another one out. Yates takes the mark right on centre wing. 10-13 Melbourne. 9-7 Collingwood. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Yates has been busy. Kicking towards half forward. Members side. Stynes is up in front. It's fisted away by Christian. This is Turner. Slight fumble. As a result, a hurried kick. Dacos takes the mark. A strong one in front. Dacos, who turns 27 in 9 days' time. Tangled with Newport there. Centering kick now. Turner alongside the centre circle. Out wide. Intended for Starcevic. Who didn't have to break stride. Starcevic has this ball about 45 metres from goal. There's the action down ground. Taylor and Hughes. Starcevic lining up though. He thinks he can do it. Craig Starcevic misses to the right hand side by a big margin. Out of bounds on the full. It's tricky down there, especially from where he was kicking.
I tell you what, it didn't lack distance though. Dennis did it. That must have covered 60 metres, that kick.
It's a big kick. Barwick's off the ground as you saw. Hughes and Taylor have had a very interesting duel. There's the time remaining. Hughes towards the outer side wing. O'Dwyer in from the side. Couldn't hang on. Shaw does well. Got it down to Brown. He's tackled. Lyon. Brilliant tackle applied there by Fellows. And what's the decision? It's going to be a ball up. Well, that tackle should have been rewarded.
Well, we saw John Platten effect a perfect tackle late in the game at VFL Park yesterday. Wasn't rewarded. This is pretty similar. It's a bounce. 60 metres out. Fellows can't find a rover with the tap. Stretch making position. Right Good use of the body to get in front of him. That was well played. Duursma, though, picks up the crumbs, only momentary. Good tackle right again. Ball socket loose up to Tony Shaw. Pretty rough and ready football out there. It's not pretty to watch, but it's safer to be on this side of the fence, believe me. Duursma got a kick in the knee and all that, I believe. So it's going to be a bounce. Inside the square, just over 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Favours love it. On to Wright. Reloads it to Tony Shaw. Measures the pass. Out to left half forward. Did McEwen mark that? I thought so. Umpire didn't. Collingwood supporters obviously did. Grinter unloads with a long one to right half forward. It'll be out of bounds.
Melbourne have got Todd Viney roving now, so they're going to lose a little bit of speed around the pack. Jackson usually does that job, but he's on interchange. Manson
coming off to be replaced by Barwick. Over the top is Kerrison doing the ruck work. Little back pocket player. And genuine Collingwood 6-footer. Starcevic close to mark of the day. The umpire's paid it, so we'll put it in for consideration. Good grab. And landed rather awkwardly. In the meantime, he's got the pass out to Kerrison, who seems to be in everything at the moment. Shane Kerrison, midfield. Can Collingwood get a goal before the siren? Spiral punt kick, all Melbourne. Stynes taking the easiest of marks he'll get all day. Manson looks on. Stynes directing traffic like a Dublin traffic cop. Goes across goal. Could be dangerous, but Johnson's there and does the tidying up.
They do that very well, Melbourne. Change the direction of play when they get the numbers back. This is Coop on the outer side. Chip pass intended for Lovell. Coming up Saunders, sensing the danger. That is very well for the Magpies to rush it out of bounds.
Good play by Saunders. Outnumbered 2-1.
Lee Matthews behind the glass. Boundary throw in. A minute 13. Counting down. Third quarter. Viney, the two rovers, doing the ruck work. Shaw and Viney. Brown battling close to the boundary line with Healy. I think we'll have a throw in and or bounce. It stayed in, so the umpire has to bounce it just inside the boundary line. John Northey feeling the tension, and why not? There's no future this season for the loser. Spalding doing the ruck work opposed to Morwood and wins it out of bounds. So for the moment, a battle. Nothing much happening on the outer side wing as we get towards three-quarter time. That could well be the three-quarter time score. Dwyer comes up. He'll oppose Christian now. Dwyer conceded front position. Healy on his knees. Shaw comes away with it. The clock is counting down to 27 as Collingwood work it forward. Grinter got a fist on that one out wide, and once again it will run out of bounds.
And I think we might run out of time for this quarter. 17 seconds, 16. It's going to be Stynes with Wes Fellows. A line ball decision ultimately goes Fellows' way at the second grab. Stretch. Ryan. As the hand pass comes out, but there's the siren for three-quarter time with the difference 12 points. 10-13-73 Melbourne leading Collingwood by 2 goals. 9-7-61 in the first semi-final. Full marks to them. They got the first 2 goals then. Nearly had 3 in 4 minutes.
But being a forward, just looking where the direction in which Melbourne are going to kick, which is the punt road, the left of screen, the forwards will have the sun in their eyes.
I think Collingwood will look back and regret 2 bad starts in this final round. I think Melbourne.
Well, we've been wrong before, Dennis.
Oh, absolutely.
Not very often. Last quarter of the 1988 first semi-final from the MCG. Melbourne leads by 12 points after they led by 23 at half-time and 9 at quarter-time. O'Dwyer down to Healy, who can't get clear. Tony Shaw making sure of that. The 2 captains tangle like 2 pocket battleships.
Should be a jump ball, wouldn't it? Basketball anyway.
We'll go through it again. Line ball decision again. Turner tries to get clear, just about tripped up by Lovell. A play on call from the umpire. Turner uses his pace, but now he got pushed in the back. And we'll take a free kick.
was a long run.
And it was more than 10 yards, wasn't it, that run?
Well, I think so. Inside the centre square, you could measure it pretty well, couldn't you?
Let's take a look. Well, about 12 paces there. He did get the push in the back and the free kick. At the back is Hughes. He's got support from Johnson. Doesn't need it. He's well shepherded. Delivers it out wide. Newport on his own. Dacos is tagged. The pass to half forward, and Wilson slips over at the crucial moment, gives Kerrison the opportunity, but the boundary line is too close. Umpire's blown the whistle. It's going to be a boundary throw.
Brian Wilson's got to worry more about the ball instead of appealing to the umpire for free kicks.
Throw in about 50 metres, just in excess of, away from Melbourne's goal. Stynes and Christian. Jackson grabbed what he didn't have it, I would have thought. Ball socket off the ground up towards Sean Wight. And it'll be out of bounds. Throw in about 5 to 8 metres from the behind post. Manson and Hawke. Hawke on the right. Maybe he should be on the left. Dacos. Can't get clear. Now Banks was grabbed surely when he didn't have it. And the umpire says it's Dennis Banks' free kick.
Banks, left back pocket. He's trying hard today. Short pass, Grosiska just inside the boundary line. Gavin Grosiska taking his time. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. Starcevic, good strong mark. Hits the ground running.
Too far.
He's gone too far.
Well, why didn't he pay the one earlier?
Well, he ran further, Don.
Different umpire.
Yeah, you're right. Different umpire.
He ran about, I would say, 25 metres.
I think on that replay when we got Turner before we picked him up about halfway through his journey.
That's true.
Here's Lovell. He's the benefactor of Starcevic going too far. He's tried hard today too. Anthony Lovell. This will test him. He's kicking from about 55 metres out. A lot riding on this kick. Long towards full forward. In front, Wight. He's done that several times today. He's judged it best in flight, and he's taken this mark only about 7 or 8 metres out.
Well, a little reminiscent of last week at VFL Park. Wight moved to full forward at centre at half time, and he did exactly this thing. Dragged down a mark from exactly the same position.
So, Sean Wight. A lot riding on this kick as the one before. If he gets the goal, Collingwood's task will be a difficult one. Wight kicks. And kicks truly.
Well, they worked hard to get that goal, Melbourne. They really did work hard. And that's the goal you need. You don't relax, though, but at least gives the team a little bit of confidence to go on with it. And Grosiska, although I thought he's been a good player, he does run well up the ground. Has been a little bit loose on Wight, playing him from behind.
So a costly run resulted in that free kick ultimately from Starcevic. Again, it's 3 goals the difference. Sean Wight has 3 goals. He's Melbourne's leading contributor in that regard now. Ball kicked away by Banks out to the centre wing position. McEwen taking the mark. He's a long way from goal. They haven't really gained much, except they've retained possession. Collingwood, McEwen goes for distance. Starcevic outmarked by O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer from 50-metre defence line. Transfers it up to the centre. Yates, bad hand pass. Dacos overruns it. Yates gets a chance to make amends. Lies on top of it. Could have almost been penalised. Umpire says stalemate.
I think I'd make a change, Peter. I'd get Stretch off Starcevic and put here on Barwick and get Grinter or Dersma onto Starcevic.
He's been a pretty good player. Grinter has a fresh air shot. Barwick butters up, cop one too high. Dersma and Dacos. Dacos no support at all. It's out of bounds. Right forward pocket. Good effort by the champ. Unfortunately, as I said, no support from him. Pretty hard to turn though when you've got 2 Melbourne players descending upon you pretty quickly. O'Dwyer looks for and gets the front position. Knocks it straight to Tony Shaw though. Johnson tries to get clear. Good tackle, Shaw. Backing up as Greg.
Oh!
Out of bounds. Deliberate. Yes, he's paid it.
Where would he go in that situation, Don?
Well, he had nowhere to go, but he could have disguised it just a little bit better, I think, Dennis. Maybe gone further along the boundary line. We'll see here on replay, he went straight for the boundary. Now he could have taken a little bit longer, maybe up in the air or something along that line, but it was deliberate.
Barwick for kick number 11, and what would be his first goal. No. It's out of bounds, touched. It will be a throw in Collingwood's left forward pocket.
11-13 Melbourne, 9-7 Collingwood. Just over 20 minutes remaining in this game. Boundary throw in. Starcevic opposed to O'Dwyer. Shaw. Hurried snap across the goal face. This is Hughes fisting towards the boundary. Viney leads in the race. Brown, timely push on the shoulder, and the ball spills out of bounds. It was well played. Collingwood desperate for a goal now. O'Dwyer and Starcevic once more. O'Dwyer, front position. Won it. Duursma knocked on by Newport. Winter the hurried kick towards centre wing. Fellows tackled by Wilson. Well picked up by Morwood. Needs support. Ball spills back. He did well, Morwood, to get a boot on that. Fellows picks it up and gets it to Shaw. To Banks. Banks in the bright sunshine now, confronted by Healy. Kicks towards half forward. Melbourne again in number. They get back superbly. This is Gwinter. Gwinter up from the back pocket. Options to the members' side. Shocking kick. Dacos, great mark. Awkward one to mark. He did it superbly. Now he's away. Dacos towards half forward. Sol Turner into real trouble. Lovell tackled him. At close quarters he gets it to O'Dwyer. Long clearing kick towards half forward. Morwood goes back and takes a very good mark, running with the flight of the ball.
Shane Morwood inside defensive 50. Out wide, Tony Shaw made some space. He'll have to get around Lyon. Barwick. Then it comes to Ryan. Inside 50. Hughes in front of Taylor, who'd slipped over. And Benny Hughes has done a particularly good job in the key defence post today. Actually, the ball hasn't been delivered to Taylor on a platter either. And Lyon to Lovell, who's played well. Healy and Saunders. And Saunders gathers in well. Actually, Saunders hasn't done a bad job today. Lovell confronts him. The end result is out of bounds. It'll be a throw in just on Collingwood's attacking side of centre wing, with 18 and a bit minutes remaining in the game. Still time to get Collingwood up if they're good enough. Fellows with Stynes. Healy. Cop one a bit high. Out of bounds on the full. Hasn't moved.
No, he's all right.
Yates it is, rather, not Healy. The shoulder it was. Spalding went for the knock on, didn't get it. Christian measures the hand pass to Morwood. Tony Shaw will get around O'Dwyer onto Jamie Turner at midfield. Turner goes for the pass, and that's better. This is the first time Taylor's really had a pass hit him on the chest all day. Now he's directly in front. Let's watch it again.
Well set up. You just can't do anything at all when you're full back and a pass comes from further up the ground to the full forward like that.
Now can Brian Taylor convert and give Collingwood a chance? That's pretty close. It looks okay. It's a goal. 4 goals to Brian Taylor.
And Collingwood have made a change, as have Melbourne. Fellows going off Manson on. And Melbourne have brought on Cooper, and I think Viney, yes, it is Viney who has gone off. So a number of changes as we see this being set up to Taylor. And forwards or fellows in midfield have got worked really hard to stop the ball being delivered in such a way. The fullback depends a lot on the fellows further up the ground.
Brian Taylor's 4th goal made the difference. 2 goals once more.
Here's the time remaining. Out of the middle, it's Newport for Melbourne this time. Deep into attack. Clears the pack down there. Christian. It could bounce through for Newport's goal. Was it touched? I don't think it was. It's a goal. Steve Newport from long range. And what a big goal that one is.
Incredible stuff. Incredible. It beat everybody. The leg break. You'll see here from the centre of the ground. There's Newport. The long bomb. bowls all players, bounces, a leg break, and was it an off break at the end? Just kept going on the leg break.
I know it was unplayable. There's the bounce. Kerrison. Stynes comes away though. Back towards half forward. Melbourne meeting the challenge. The Magpies not done with yet. This is Saunders out wide into the path of a teammate. Brown gathers. Brown confronted by Coop, feeds the hand pass to Shaw. McEwen is on for the next one in the chain, but he elects Krasiska instead. Krasiska goes down towards the pocket. Ryan is there in close attendance, Johnson, and the ball spills across the boundary line. 12-13 Melbourne, 10-7 Collingwood.
87,407 the attendance, Dennis.
That accounts for the atmosphere. What a big day it's been, and a tough, uncompromising game of football. Stynes and Starcevic stretch in from the side. Fists it back towards the boundary line. Out of bounds, it will be thrown in once more.
And Melbourne have made a change. They've got Wight now up on the half-forward line with Krasiska. Lyon has gone back to the full-forward position.
15.5 minutes left in the game. Collingwood need a goal pretty quickly. Melbourne have answered the challenge all day. Grinter grabbed well by Barwick. Umpire has given a free kick. Johnson will take it. No, it's not going to be Johnson, it's Wilson. Brian Wilson, short of left half-back flank. Dwyer was the target. Doesn't matter, it's been marked by Lovett. To play on call. A hand pass, he takes it back from Dersma. And ultimately gets clear. Good shepherd by Dersma. Allow him to get the kick in down towards half forward. The mark for Collingwood has been taken for them by Krasiska. Onto Morwood. Over Wight. Krasiska again. Turner. Turner at midfield. Kicks it straight to Alan Johnson. And Tony Shaw has decked a Melbourne player. And there was an Academy Award performance by Rod Grinder, and the umpire didn't do anything about it. He wasn't wearing that. Lovell takes the mark at right half forward. I'd like to know what was said out there. Lovell from 55 out. Won't get the distance. Into the goal square at Wobbles. Dacos pressuring Newport. Bad hand pass. Collingwood running in numbers out of defence. I see Hawke back on the ground. It's out of bounds, though, says the boundary umpire. There's a fight behind play at midfield. 3 Melbourne players on a 1 Collingwood. Slightly outnumbered out there, isn't it?
Stretch and Starcevic. That's the way the game started.
A few more coming in now. And the game still continues, though, on the members stand wing. O'Dwyer. Long kick by the big redhead. Oh, Wight got a mile in the air and went for the knock on. Shaw in trouble. A hurried hand pass. Turner palms it on for Krasiska. In turn, he'll knock it on further forward for Shane Morwood, who's in front of Spalding, but only just. Collingwood under plenty of pressure, and he gets the hand pass to Hawke.
Hawke's got some time on the outer side. This is Ryan. Ryan on centre wing. High kick towards half forward. McEwen does well. Knocks it away from Dersma. On all fours, McEwen. Socked away by Grinter. Out of bounds on the full. Just over 13 minutes remaining. McGuan goes long. The mark is taken by Hughes. Used his body very well indeed. Taylor wants a free. Hughes has got the footy. Hughes towards the outer side wing. It's all Melbourne out there. Yates takes it. Shepherded by Dersma. A couple of bounces. Yates a third now. Carries him down towards right half forward. Roar from the crowd. He unloads a long kick. Big pack at the fall of the ball. The defender in front, Morwood, takes the mark. At the wrong end though for Collingwood.
He's got to go long and straight down the ground.
Shane Morwood. Back towards the outer side wing. Well-weighted kick. Manson should have marked that. Got to his feet quickly. The deflection comes to Krasiska. And he does what Melbourne did just moments before through Yates. A couple of bounces down towards the pocket with the kick. Ryan tries to knock it on for Collingwood. Trying to soccer it off the ground was Hughes. Picked up by McEwen right on the boundary line. Does well. Feeds it back inside, intended for Hawke. Dersma. Well played, Dersma. Gets it across to Hughes.
Melbourne's defence pretty solid at the moment. Sean Wight, the big leaper. And shows his skills on the ground as well to get it to O'Dwyer. Lovell, outside 50, has to go for the hurried hand pass. Good tackle by Morwood. Turner pressures and comes out with the ball. Collingwood need a goal quickly. Starcevic has marked. About 65 metres out from goal, 11 and a half minutes remaining in the game. A goal here would make it pretty interesting. And Shane Morwood, who's moved down into attack, has taken the mark. You can see the distance. He'll be kicking from inside the 50-metre mark.
And Earl Spalding, his opponent at the centre half forward position, holding his head.
Still 18 points in it. 11 minutes left in the game. It'll be close. Might just drift away, has it? It has. So 3 goals can win it for Collingwood. I feel the task may be just beyond them. 68 to 85.
Great play by Morwood.
Danny Hughes to bring the ball back. Hughes favouring the outer side.
Oh.
Stepping back into the pack was Manson. He's got it to Turner. With the sun in his eyes as well. That was a fine mark, wasn't it? Taylor almost a one-hander. 16 points the difference off the hands of the pack. 10 and a half minutes left in the game. 69 to 85.
Lee Matthews feeling the tension as Hughes kicks in. He sends now Collingwood are making their last grab for glory. This is Stretch, grandstand side, trying to deny them. Kicks towards centre wing, taken by Lovell, claimed by Turner, jarred free. Love it over the top, into the path of Spalding. He's away, 2 tired players there. Spalding and Starcevic, long kick. Who'll be first back? Krasiska. He paddles it towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in alongside the behind post. Inside 10 minutes remaining now. It's down to 9:52. Stynes and Christian. They've made it hard for their defenders, with Christian having to do the ruck work down there. Stynes generally has been the master. Wight comes over the top that time. Wilson rushed through with the ball. It's a behind. The lead increased for Melbourne.
17 points.
86 to 69 then. Dennis Banks. Members side. Morwood. Almost a great mark. Couldn't hang on. Coop to Spalding. What will he do? Has he got the accuracy? It's coming back. I think it just missed. It did. Behind.
Right behind that one. So 12-15 to 10-9. Once again, it's 3 goals. And the task becoming harder by the second for Collingwood. 9:16 remaining in the game. And maybe for the Magpies, the season. Newport knocks it close to his opposite number 34, Mick McGuan, but it's out of bounds. Williams coming back onto the ground, it would appear.
Coop going off.
And back to the action, which is on the other side of the ground at the moment. Dacos fumbles. He doesn't do that very often. Puts his body in well again. McGuan tries to pick it up. Stynes blocks his path. Umpire says throw it in once more. Certainly suiting Melbourne. Clock ticking down. Every second valuable. Christian and Stynes. Won by Christian. Well, Grinter got one too high from Tony Shaw. And he will take the free kick. That time he was hit high. Rod Grinter at right half forward flank. Now a goal here would make the game, one would think, safe for Melbourne. He'll have to kick it some 60 metres. He hasn't done that. Into the goal square. Morwood knocks the ball clear. It's through for 1 point. But that could make it pretty hard for them now. 2 goals, 7 or 19 points.
It's 4 kicks then, Peter.
So
4 straight kicks.
4 goals they have to get to win the game. Kerrison brings it back.
Andy behind. Kerrison down the centre now as they must. Big pack. Oh, great mark is taken out there by Grinter. Ghosting in front of that pack. They were coming from everywhere. And the rugged defender pulled it down.
They're going to get the big fellows back there again, Melbourne, because Grinter's going to unload with a long bomb.
Nothing subtle about this kick. Towards the full forward area. Manson should have punched away. He was lucky that time. Saunders comes away with it. Pulled off the kick. It wobbles out towards the boundary. It's out of bounds on the full.
Great tackle by Ricky Jackson.
couple of errors there from Collingwood in defence. The pressure right on now. This is Yates, an outstanding player this afternoon. He'll kick from about 60 metres out, right on the boundary. A centering kick. O'Dwyer in best position. Christian fisting away, knocked on by Shaw. Was it in the back? Lyon comes up looking for the kick. It wasn't there. Held to him by Saunders. We'll have a ball up. 7:05 with the clock running down. Final term. The winner to play Carlton. The loser is out of the competition. Melbourne, narrow winners last week. Improving each week as the hand pass comes out to Jackson from Healy. It goes goalward and narrowly misses.
Still a valuable point. Collingwood 4 straight kicks away from victory, and with 6:41 left in the game, that's a pretty hard task, isn't it? Banks to the outer side. Morwood's the target. Time the enemy of Collingwood now. As Melbourne players being whistled back on the mark. Still 2 standing there. Christian, left centre wing. A goal here would lift their flagging spirits. He has to get around Jackson. Beautifully done by the big fellow. Christian, plenty of meterage in that kick, but not well directed. Grinter, who struck a purple patch late in the game. Mark number 6, kick number 15 for Rod Grinter. Out to Lovett. Lovett at left half-back flank, or just short of that position. He's been a good player today for Melbourne too. 2-on-1 in favour of Melbourne. Knocked down by Williams. Lovell at the back. Hugs the boundary line. Stabs it to left half forward virtually. At the fall of the ball is Healy. The skipper's kick accurate. 2 were there. And Newport would feel confident of kicking it after his goal earlier in the quarter.
Melbourne starting to play with a lot of confidence now.
Tails are certainly up, Don, aren't they? Steve Newport, 55 out. Good distance with the kick. That could be the sealer. It's a goal. Melbourne should just about be home. It's his second.
Well, he's kicked 2 incredible goals in this the last quarter. Stephen Newport. The first one straight out of the centre. That leg break went through the goal. And then another long bomb. He's had a big job today on Peter Dacos. We'll see here on replay. 60 metres out. A beautiful drop punt. And that should break the back of Collingwood. Can they come back? Only time will tell.
Newport 2 goals. Kerrison over the ball for Collingwood. There's our scoreline. It's going to be tough from here as far as the Magpies are concerned. Stretch leading in the race towards the boundary line. Out of bounds and will be thrown in. 13-17 to 10-9. Inside 5 minutes now. Lee Matthews. What can he do? Not very much. It's the players now. Barwick battling with Healy, and there'll be a ball up. Some of the better players in the first half have drifted out of the game in the second. Lyon, McGuan, they've been pretty quiet since half-time.
The end of Melbourne are kicking 2 in this last quarter. Seems to have been the scoring end all day.
Yes, the crowd caught up in the emotion. Starcevic and Stynes. Wilson towards the boundary line, taken by Shaw. Centering kick, opportunity for Barwick, but crashing through was Lovett. Hawk upended. Off the ground by Grinter. This is McGuan. Stabs it back into the forward line. Well done by Hughes, knocking it away from Taylor. Stynes has got it now. Well played again by Melbourne. Stynes driving it around the outer side. Good mark is taken by Manson there. Inside 4 minutes. Manson, short pass. Brown, who's been quiet. Forward of centre. Long kick towards full forward. Taylor in from the side. Hughes couldn't take the mark. It spills to Shaw. And Shaw pulls it back too far behind.
Well, Tony Shaw, Little Rovers had a great impact on today's game. A lot of responsibility as captain. Just on his wrong kicking foot as he went in towards goal there. Normally a left foot kick, but he was on his right foot. Well roved the pack. Collingwood has certainly got a job in there. What Melbourne will try and do is hold up play.
25 points the margin. There's the time remaining. Spalding in from the side. Couldn't take the mark. It falls to Morwood. Left half forward Morwood for Collingwood. Down towards Taylor. He's taking the mark on his chest. Time is part of the contract now. They need goals and they need them very quickly. Brian Taylor He's tried very hard. He's kicked 4 goals. He's only about 35 metres out from goal, but the angle acute. Ryan Taylor. Looks pretty good. It's a goal for Collingwood.
There's been a tremendous battle between those two, Taylor and Hughes. I hate to say who has won it. Taylor has kicked 5 goals too, 1 out of bounds. But then again, Hughes has also instigated a lot of attack from down back, and it's been a tremendous battle out of these two players. But as I mentioned earlier, Hughes very dependent on the fellows up the ball, because that ball well delivered again by Collingwood midfielders.
Brian Taylor has 5 goals. Collingwood out of the centre again. This is Paul Hawke, long towards full forward. Hughes in front, takes the mark. 2.5 minutes remaining. 19 points the difference. So Melbourne, slumping towards the end of the season with 5 consecutive losses, have turned it around. Hughes driving wide towards the boundary line on the outer side. Missed by Wilson. Kerrison behind. Back into the forward line with a kick. Taylor strength. Great mark. Needs to get up and kick it quickly. Brian Taylor, aware of that, comes up running. Not often you see that.
They're debatable free kicks, aren't they? We'll see here on replay how Taylor used his hands. A lot of players use their hands, but on that occasion it might have been Hughes that actually pushed Taylor back onto that ball.
Brian Taylor. The goal will stop the clock. I think he's got it. He has. 12-10 to 13-17. The margin 13 points. Brian Taylor has 6 goals for the afternoon.
Well, now it's imperative now that the Melbourne players pick each opponent up. They cannot allow them any latitude at all. A little slip could mean the difference between winning and losing this game. Collingwood, on the other hand, have got to attack and go straight for goal.
So the clock will restart now. 1:41 remaining. Collingwood defiant to the end. Ransom out of the middle. Wilson hits it high in the air. Newport over the top. Only as far as Morwood. Morwood towards half forward. They need a quick goal. Lovett couldn't hang on. Dersma feeds Johnson. The moment has passed for Collingwood. Johnson comes out wide with a kick. It's a foot race.